There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With even more exclusive content, with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
So we're deep into the middle of the Jeep sessions. And what we're learning is that the Jeep customer has an absolutely insatiable appetite to customize their whip. And the brand that we're featuring today has an extensive catalog that could satisfy even the most hungriest of appetites when it comes to Jeep enthusiasts. We're talking about Racesport lighting, distributed in Canada by Trends Electronics. We've got their president with us today, STEVE Jergensen, who's going to walk us through the crazy catalog they have for Jeep. This is CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. Racesport lighting starts now. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this CMA Connected. I'm your host, Ben Wu. And like I said, we're talking about Jeeps this week. And one of the biggest brands, really, that have been in aftermarket lighting is Racesport Lighting. In fact, 15 years in the business, they've had their time to kind of own their craft and really develop the products that Jeep enthusiasts want. Recently, as recent as end of last year, we announced that in Canada, the Trends Distribution Group has taken over some of the distribution for Racesport Lighting in Canada. And pretty exciting because, I mean, it's a big line, but it seems like they're quite committed. So let's find out from the horse's mouth. We're going to go ahead and invite their national sales manager, Grant McFadder, to join us in the studio.
Good morning, Ben. Good afternoon for you.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Grant McFadder, lighting. I mean, this is a big category. Trends, obviously, been in the business a long time. And you guys cover a lot of stuff, like, you know, in car audio, in marine, especially. There's a big focus in marine from you guys. You guys kind of known for that. And obviously, there's a whole home side of things that we don't get into here, but that's a big division as well. Lighting is quite the big undertaking. So I'd like to hear a little bit of the story of, you know, how that occurred.
Yeah, I mean, I've always looked at the category, and I personally love the category. It just Trends as a company, we've never got down that road. We've always been amplifiers and speakers, and that's what we've been successful with. And then I got contacted a couple of years ago by Bruce, our rep out of Portland, and you know, kind of showed me the catalog, and the catalog scared me away. Actually, quite honestly, I took a look at it, and go, Jesus, now why we wouldn't know where to start. So the guys at Racesport Lighting have been pretty patient with us. We've you know, we're getting our feet wet with the product and just trying to find out what the market wants, because it is such a vast catalog. There's 5,300 plus SKUs. So trying to find out what our niche is, what dealers really want. And quite frankly, leading the witness is listen to what Steve has told us to do. He's been right 100%, leading us the right way. I said, you know, we're comfortable with marine, we're comfortable with power sports. And he said, well, our biggest category is front forward lighting. So, you know, headlight replacements, stuff like that. And sure as you know what, he was right. So now we're in the bulb replacement business, which is crazy.
It is crazy. I never would have thought Trends would be doing that, but here you are. But you're with the brand that can support you. I think that's the most important thing, with experience and knowledge of the industry and the trends. And speaking of trends, we're here in Jeep Week, and you guys are pretty adamant about booking some time during these Jeep sessions. I'd like to hear the strategy behind that and the reasons.
Well, I took a look at the categories. With the Jeep, I didn't really have anything specific for Jeep except for lighting. And you talk about having something specific. There's got a crap load of product for Jeeps. I mean, they got a full catalog dedicated just to marine only products. Jeep only. This is not even the full catalog. This is like a little little countertop thing. So this, like, I think there's over 100 plus different categories or lighting products they have available for Jeeps, just for Jeeps. So
yeah, we're going to cover quite a bit of that today. I know we've got quite the extensive presentation that Steve's kind of put together for us. I'll tell you what, why don't, for those that haven't heard about Racesport lighting, maybe especially the ones in Canada, this is a big brand, folks. Like, these guys are no joke. They've been around for a long time. They specialize in literally everything aftermarket lighting, like Grant had mentioned. We have a sizzle reel. I think we're going to play that, and you'll get a sense of what Racesport lighting is all about. Let's roll the tape. And there you have it, Glenn. I mean, that video says right there, literally every category imaginable in the aftermarket for lighting solutions.
Right? They got some home stuff too they didn't even talk about. So, they got landscape lighting for your backyard and stuff too. It's like,
yeah, we didn't even talk
about how Steve must have crazy meals or crazy drugs or something to dream up all these different products. So
I don't even know how they manage it. There must be a gargantuan team there. We're going to find out. At this time, we're going to go straight to HQ, Racesport headquarters, where we have Mr. President of Racesport Lighting, Steve Jergensen, standing by. I'd like to invite him to the studio.
What's going on, Ben, Grant, and hello to CMA viewers. How are we doing today?
Amazing, Steve. Thank you so much for taking time with us today.
Glad to be here. Ignacio Ayala, who's usually would be doing these in training, is currently on the trade show floor right now, doing a big distributor show in Pennsylvania. So you guys got me
settle
today.
For the president. We have to settle for the president. I guess we'll make do.
We like the president because he's got that Chicago accent,
Yeah, I know a few
things. I feel like watching the Untouchables every time I hear your voice.
Well, it's good to be here. Thank you, guys. And this is an exciting catery. So
it's an exciting category. We are deep in the middle of the Jeep sessions. We're focused on Jeep. We have, Jeep ears on us right now and eyes on us. And, Racesport has a pretty deep commitment to the Jeep category. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that all started and just how deep, how committed are you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, we've been doing and developing and offering Jeep lighting to the marketplace for over 10 years now. We have over 100 plus vehicle-specific replacement lights and bolt-on lights in our lineup currently. We kind of started a little bit over 10 years ago because we have several Jeep outfitters in our backyard that specifically customize Jeeps. Whether that be sometimes old, the JTs, the JKs, obviously now the JLs, the Gladiators, they do them all. And so we're constantly working with them to develop lights. And usually for anybody that's been on here, that's been to SEMA, every year we have a totally tricked out Jeep in our booth, full of lights. And so we've been doing that for a long time. So we have a full catalog dedicated to Jeeps now, full category on our website just for Jeeps. And as Grant held up a little bit ago, obviously retailers want those little pop and display tools along their display. So we got those trifolds for dealers to be able to hand out to consumers that come in their stores.
So Steve, you heard me say in the beginning of the show, insatiable appetite for accessories and for customization. So for you, obviously having the product in this category, how important is the Jeep segment as a whole, just for the lighting aspect?
Well, being that we're in several different industries, 12 volt is just one automotive aftermarket light truck accessory, which kind of Jeep sometimes falls into, would be a second industry. Both those industries Jeep has been important, and 12 volt industry has definitely grabbed a hold of, hey, we want some of that. We got some audio for it. We got some other things. Oh, and we got Racesport lighting. And so we have tons of lighting options. You don't have to go to the truck accessory store anymore for the lighting. We'll do it. And so we've been able to definitely find our place in the 12 volt market as well, over the last 10 years with the Jeep lighting, and give them something else to sell to Jeep enthusiasts.
Now, you're giving something else to sell. Can you give us a quick overview, Steve, of how you break down the different type of product / categories specific to Jeep?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we kind of get into this presentation, we go through some of the top products. You'll see our Jeep specific catalog really breaks it down into 10 segments of opportunities for the Jeeps. Obviously, we're always talking about forward lighting. We're talking about the exterior replacement products. We're going to talk about interior lighting. We're going to talk about some accent lighting and some of the bolt-on lighting and off-road type of lighting that we can put on the Jeeps. This is the #1 most accessorized vehicle in North America.
There it is.
The Jeep.
I think that's an important thing for dealers watching it. This is like, it's almost like a whole new category by itself. It's like, guys treat car audio marine separately. This can be an entire business by itself. There are guys that only do Jeep stuff. We've got a guy here in our backyard in Archer Off-Road. That's all they do is Jeeps. Like there's a community in Toronto, I think it's GTA Jeeps or something like that. That's all they do is Jeeps. Like
I'm going to share something with you guys. We had a session with JL Audio. They brought some specs that SEMA provided. 38% of Jeep owners accessorize their Jeep.
Yeah.
That's almost 40%. That's almost 1 out of 2. I mean, that's probably the highest number of any single platform on any vehicle that exists. So it's a huge market. If you're tuning in now, pay attention, strap in. Steve has got a great presentation to kind of break it down for you guys so you understand how it works, the different categories that you can offer. Now, you don't have to do them all. I know we can talk about this afterwards, but by the end of this presentation, you will understand just the depth of which you can go as far as offering accessories and lighting through Racesport lighting after this presentation. So at this time, Steve, I'm going to go ahead and pass you over the mic, so to speak. We're going to bring up a presentation and let's go. Let's get our learn on.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you guys. Well, I'll go ahead and jump right into it. Most importantly, we feel that Racesport lighting, we do Jeep lighting right. We've been doing it for 10+ years. We have 100+ Jeep specific lights. Even right here on this slide, you're going to see 2 different SEMA builds that have been in our booth at SEMA that displayed 20+ different lights for dealers to take a look at and add to their offerings. Actually, in the middle, this isn't just a graphic. This is actually a 24x24 slat wall display that 5-axis solution put together for us, that in the showroom by itself just gives customers several ideas that they can add to their lights. Now, taking a look at this slide, this is kind of a snapshot of our Jeep lighting product guide. And you can kind of see the cover and just a snapshot of the inside. But most importantly, to the right, you're going to see 10 color bands, which are really the index on page 2 of the catalog. And we're going to be talking about 10 different categories or subcategories of Jeep lighting. And so we're going to start with sealed beam headlight conversions. We're going to do headlight conversion parts, sealed beam fog light conversions, tail brake light replacements, auxiliary light replacements, like turn signals, marker lights, things like that. Light bar and spotlight brackets and mounts, spotlight kits, light bar kits. We are going to talk about switches, and obviously with adding all these lights, the switch category is a big deal for us, and especially for the Jeep enthusiast that's using them. And then we're going to add with a barrage of add-on accent lighting. All right, so the first category that we're going to talk about now, real quick, before I go into any of the slides, obviously each of these categories has dozens of products and the offerings on each of these. for the sake of today and time, we're just going to pick out one nationwide top seller within that category, and we're going to focus on that. And with each slide, you're going to see an application picture of the product. You're going to see a picture of the product, and I have some live demonstrations on my desk that I'll hold up so you can kind of get a feel for the product. And so the first one here is seal beam headlight conversions. Now, when I talk about seal beam headlight conversions, we're talking about every Jeep that comes out of the factory obviously has a left and right headlight lens. And it's been known amongst Jeep enthusiasts for many years that typically Jeep doesn't offer good OEM lighting. And so upgrading the low and high beams on these headlights is usually the first thing that a Jeep enthusiast thinks about doing, because they need to see well at night, whether they're driving on or off road. So seal beam conversions, we're talking about actually removing the lens out of the front fascia of the vehicle, and we're actually going to replace it with a whole module that already has a low and high beam in, and plug and plays right into the factory harness. Now, this particular SKU, RS303-7050-C, is our #1 selling kit within this particular category. Matter of fact, this is actually a combo kit that actually comes with the 4-inch fog lights that you see at the bottom of this Jeep in the application picture as well. And in addition to the low and high beams that are upgraded and the fog light upgrades for the functional light, these halos actually sync together within a control box. This is a Bluetooth controlled halo system. And not only does it have all different colors that one can desire on their Jeep or want to flow through, this is actually the dash C at the end indicates this is actually our chasing model. So we have this without a dash C, which also sells well. And if you're not interested in the chasing, is available. But the dash C is the #1 seller right now. The other cool thing that you can't really tell from the picture is those halos actually act as functional turn signal lights as well. And so into the control box, you'll actually see all the wires are coded for installation, and it'll say left signal, right signal, and you'll connect those into the system. And when you turn your turn signals on, those halos, whether they're on or not, will actually immediately go to amber and do a turn signal function. So nice product. Definitely gonna want to check that piece out. All right, so the next slide is headlight conversion parts. So what we're talking about here, and you'll kind of see in this Jeep that we outfitted actually has a OEM lens. The guy said, no, I'm fine with the lens. Can we just change the bulbs out and get better lighting? And so in this particular build, we were able to actually upgrade this using any of our H4 system LED or HID kits. In this particular slide and conversation, we're going to focus on our patented Gen 4 LED kit, in which there's 4 patents on this particular design kit that cover not only the 360 ratchetable base, the high beam deflectors, some of the chipset features, but also the big feature is the Medusa style heatsink on the back that allows for zero clearance mounting. So these are great on all different types of vehicles, but specifically on the Jeep, this H4-G4 LED is a nice fit for the Jeep. This is one of our higher lux output pieces, and so you definitely want to take a look at this if your customer doesn't want to actually change out the seal beam and he wants to move to the lens or keep a stock lens. They can definitely do that. So you can see to the right, there's a picture of the retail box. And so we actually do assemble this product in the USA. It has 4 US PTO patents on it. It's a really nice product. And so this is a good solution for Jeeps if they want to keep their stock lens and just convert the actual bulb so that they can get increased night safety driving. Now this next slide particularly talks about the category of sealed beam fog light conversions. Now this is very similar to the headlights, except we're talking about the two 4-inch fog lights in the bottom. Sometimes when a customer is only doing a conversion on the top, they still want to change out their fog lights. Now you can do this with a HID or LED conversion kit like the last slide, or we sell several options of direct replacement fog lights. So I'm actually going to pause and I'm going to go ahead and show you this particular product. Now obviously in the kit it comes with two, so I'm just holding one up so you can get an idea of the product. And so you can see the back, there's actually the mounting bezel of the fog light that you can actually see, and that mounts right into that bottom valence location of the vehicle. And so that's that particular product close up. Now this particular SKU, RS162RGB, is our #1 selling fog light replacement kit. So this is actually Bluetooth app controlled. So in that kit, it also comes with the controller that taps into both of the fog lights when you mount it in. The other connectors off the back of these connect directly into the OEM replacement. Now moving on to the next slide is tail brake light replacements. That's a big deal. I mean, obviously we just got done talking about frontal lighting. Now we're going to talk about, the rear lighting, which is also important. And most Jeep enthusiasts are not really thrilled with the style of tail light that Jeep puts out from the factory. And again, other than the headlights, one of the most immediate lights they want to replace is that tail light. A lot of Jeep enthusiasts like a smoked out look. And so in the pictures to the left here, you're actually going to see just two different styles that fit on Jeep JK models, which is typically 07 to 2017. The particular model that I'm going to talk about today is the RS0106JL, which is our, I don't want to say new, but fairly new. It's been out at least a year or 2 years now, that we put together specifically for the JL. Now this obviously upgrades the new Jeep JL tail lights to be 100% LED. It gives a nice luxurious look. The lens on the right is actually showing it lit, and on the left it shows when it's not lit, it gives a blacked out look. So this is nice and plug and play. Matter of fact, I do have one of these here for a little bit of show and tell. And so you can, if you guys can zoom up, I can kind of show a little bit of this, and you can see the back. And so this is completely molded. It plugs right into the factory connector. Sometimes what happens with turn signals, and which people are usually concerned about, is will I get hyper flash? You're going to see it comes with this resistor that particularly controls the turn signal line. So you'll mount that in the frame when you change the headlight. That'll stop your hyper flash. And so you can see that nice blacked out smoke look. And if you really take a look in there, you can see all the diode sets in there. So that's a nice piece right there. Now, moving on to the next slide, we're going to talk about auxiliary light replacements. And so this is kind of a small category in itself. Obviously, there's other lights on the Jeep, whether it be fender lights, marker lights, turn signal lights. And so one of the #1 sellers within this segment is RS-J13SLT, which you could simply see on the front of the vehicle. That's the marker turn signal light that mounts right underneath the headlight. And so typically on the JKs, this comes with a halogen bulb. It's clear. And so right away, these Jeep enthusiasts, as they want to upgrade their headlights and their tail lights, they're like, hey, what about these other, functional signal lights? What do you got to replace those? And so for a very inexpensive cost, you can get a kit with a left and right side. And so again, you see it's got that smoked out look when it's not lit. It's got several diodes inside. You can see the clips are made so that this can plug and play just like the factory and clip right in. And it has the Dutch connector that you can take off that stock OEM and plug that right in. So these are really quick replacement. And so you can stock those for your Jeep customers and say, hey, while you're doing your headlights, do you want us to change out the signal lights? Do you want us to change out the markers, the turn signals? If it's got fender lights, we have those other products as well. But for this segment, we're only showing you the #1 seller in the category right there. Now on the next slide, we're specifically going to talk about brackets and mounts. And so this is kind of an extensive category. We actually have a fabrication shop right behind us, and their business focuses on fabrication. And so we obviously partner with them on an ongoing basis with all of our brackets, not only Jeeps, but into dozens and dozens of other trucks and vehicles. But specifically for the Jeep today, the one I want to show you is actually for the new Jeep JL, and you can see it pictured. And so this is actually a bottom pillar mount bracket, and so it uses the existing bolt locations on the Jeep JL, and it allows you to mount either one set of cube or auxiliary or floodlights, or even two. And so probably the best to demonstrate this, I'm actually going to show it to you live here. And so if you guys can zoom up, so this is made right here in the beautiful US, right behind us. So you can see the thickness of the steel. There is no flex in this. It's solid, and they actually, cut that out. Actually, they use like a high pressure water cutter, and they literally cut right through this metal and make that. But most importantly, on the top, you're going to see these two are actually the bolts that go on top of the hood right at the bottom of the windshield. But these are for your auxiliary lights. And so even though in the picture you can see two, you can all see that. Now, if you want to stay focused up real quick, this is thought all the way out. So one thing a guy would be thinking is like, well, hey, as I mount this thing on the Jeep, is it going to scratch the paint? Is the metal going to be touching the metal? So in the kit, we also include these standouts that actually, when you mount this, you put these at the bottom of the bracket, and then you put the bolt through, and they stand that out from the body. And so it's really well thought out. We even give you some of the bolts for the job in there to replace the factory bolts. And so it's an all kit. It's all nice kit. Again, there's dozens of different brackets for the Jeep, for the roofs, for the grills, for the pillars in different locations. But this is a really good seller that's actually made right here in the US, right behind us, and is really thought out with quality in mind. So definitely, if you're doing a lot of Jeeps and you're getting a lot of new JLs, you're definitely going to want to take a look at this bracket, and you can mount dozens of different of our spot and auxiliary lights on this bracket. Now on the next slide, we're going to talk about light bar kits. And so obviously we sell dozens of different lines of light bars for various reasons and with different functions. So we're not talking about light bars here. We're going to talk about light bar kits, and where we pre-package specific light bars with our brackets and include the wiring harness and everything the installer needs for the job in specific areas of the vehicle. So right here, we're specifically taking a look at our EcoSlim light bar, which is a 100-watt light bar. And so you can see it on the application picture that we actually include the bracket. And you can't see it well in the picture, but it does have a wiring harness that you can wire this up to the system. Now, I do have a particular piece here for show and tell. Now, I didn't put the brackets on, but you can see the bar, and then this is the bracket that's in the picture. Now, part of the kit, it comes with the Dutch connector with the complete wiring harness to get that job done. And then the only thing I don't have out of the box is the brackets that come in the kit. But that particular kit allows you to put a light bar right at the bottom of the windshield, right over the hood, within just 2 inches over the hood. Again, there's dozens of different light bar kits for the Jeep. There's kits that are specifically to hold 1 or 2 light bars right on the front of the grill. There's kits that actually fit behind the grill. We have a couple different options that go on the roof, and a couple options that go on this windshield area as well. Now going into the next slide. We're going to talk about spotlight kits. Now, very similar to what we talked about on the brackets, but these are just kits that hold all different types of configurations. You can hold 1 cube, 2 cube, 4-inch rounds, 2-inch rounds. Almost every Jeep that we do, almost always when we outfit it, there's some type of pillar mount spotlight kits that happen. So I'm going to show this to you, and then we're actually going to show you a video on some of these eco products in the brackets. So you can see you'll get that bracket to mount in the bolt locations. It'll come with the lights, and you'll get a 2-output harness in that kit. We also have, so that's the RSL-12W. We also have this same product with a dual bracket that actually steps up on the pillar and actually has 4 lights, and it comes with a 4-output harness. And so with that, I'm going to actually show you a video that kind of incorporates the last slide and this slide on Eco Series.
Racesport Lighting's Eco Series LED light bars and spots were designed to be the accessible LED solution for the cost-attentive customer, which means you can be confident with this reliable lighting solution that is pocket-friendly at the same time. Let's take a look at the Eco LED light bars, which are available in straight or curved, and a range of sizes to ensure the right fit for your need. Each Eco light bar utilizes high-intensity fill-up LEDs to produce up to 19,000 lumens of cool 6,000 Kelvin white light. The bars feature 3D optic technology, which improves optical efficiency 20 to 30% over traditional reflector lenses, ensuring peak utilization of each diode's raw power. The integrated heatsink allows the LEDs to run cool, which leads to an incredibly long 50,000 hour life expectancy. The Eco's IP68 rating was achieved with a gasket and injections, which is how they tenaciously stand up to dust and water intrusion. Lastly, the PMMA transparent, lightweight, shatter-resistant thermoplastic lens protects internal components against impact damage. All this pocket-friendly performance is backed by Racesport Lighting's 1-year manufacturer's warranty. The Eco LED Light Bar and Spot Series by Racesport Lighting was designed for accessibility and performance. You can find more info about the Eco Series and all Racesport Lighting products at racesportinc.com.
All right. If you've just seen that video, if you're in Canada, see racesportlighting.ca, which is our Canadian website specifically for Canadian dealers to use. So the other thing to mention is on the Eco Series, that is that's probably our highest volume moving line. That's our entry level line. We have dozens of other light bar lines all the way up to our professional grade lines to take a look at, but definitely a nice line that has some nice quality and is great to package with our brackets for Jeeps. Now, moving on to the next category, we're talking about switches and switch accessories. Now, we have like over 50 to 60 different LED rocker logo switches. I love this particular product though. I'm not going to tell you it's the highest volume mover, but it is a good mover, and it's just fun because Jeep enthusiasts love to put this up. Rather than putting additional rocker switches in there and putting them in the dash or adding panels, this one actually mounts up over the rear view mirror on the Jeep. It's specifically made for the Jeep, and this product actually comes with the brain, the wiring harness, everything already pre-fused to be connected to your accessories. And of course, if you know Jeep enthusiasts or you are a Jeep enthusiast, you know, a lot of times that crowd likes to have a little bit of fun. And so, you know, zombie lights and rear lights. So what we did is we took some of our top selling logo switches that Jeep enthusiasts buy individually, and we put those on this whole switch panel system. The other thing I like about this is you actually can check your voltage draw and kind of monitor it as you are using all of the switches. So for show and tell, I do have this particular product piece here, and this brain is not light. It's pretty heavy. So you'll see this is actually the brain system that mounts into in the engine compartment, and then you get all the heavy duty loom to connect to the battery and run up to the actual switch panel itself. You got the brackets to be able to mount that in. It comes with instructions in the kit on where to mount this in the best location and use stock bolt locations. So wanted to show you that. In addition, I love this. It's a beautiful piece. So you can see how it's notched out, and it's already pre-wired for you. It's just ready to plug into that harness. You just run that harness that I showed you just a second ago up behind the location, plug that in, and you'll have that at the top. And so obviously driver's able to see down here, they want to switch, they just reach up and they're able to switch on different lighting and accessories that they haven't hooked up to. So yeah, definitely that's a nice piece for switching and controlling, putting multiple lights onto the system. Now, this last category that our catalog covers that I want to show you guys is actually, it's extensive in itself. I couldn't even show you just one product. I mean, add-on accent lighting, we're talking about adding wheel lights, underbody lights, interior lights, whip lights. I mean, just in the Jeep whip category, which if you're familiar with Jeeping or off-roading at all, there's a lot of off-road parks that require whether it be Jeeps or ATVs that come into their park, they have to have whips on. And some parks actually require a lighted whip. And so we offer dozens of different whips in different sizes. 3, 5, 6 foot whips are usually the most common. We either sell them in solid colors or we sell them in RGB, either remote controlled or Bluetooth app controlled. And so you can choose the whip that kind of goes along with the rest of the lighting that you're putting on that Jeep. And so even though these pictures aren't talking about it, whips are a huge Jeep add-on. So the two products we are going to talk about that are kind of top sellers in this category are, number one, the RS8 PRGBW rock light kit. Now, our RGB plus W rock light kits actually come in 4, 6, 8, or 12 pod kits. They're smartphone controlled, as you can see in the little picture down there. And what's great about these is you can put these under all the wheel wells and really create some nice ground effects on the Jeep. You can do this in addition to an underbody kit, or you can do this as the underbody kit. Now, the 8PRGB is our #1 selling SKU in that particular family of 4 different options. So that's going to give you 2 light pods above each wheel, and that's plenty of bright light to really light up that whole wheel well system and down into the ground. Some enthusiasts like to step it up into the 12 and you have 3 lights above the wheels. So definitely, I actually have one of those here. I'm not going to pull it out of the box because it's a bunch of separate pieces, but you can see, dealers, this is retail ready in the box. It's pretty, tells the story for your customers. You know, it has some other pictures on the side. Let me get this over here. It's got some specs on the other side. And so I know that Trends has these in stock ready to go. So definitely, if you're doing Jeeps, this is like the #1 accent product that Jeep enthusiasts are putting on there. Now, one of the other ones can almost be in the category of auxiliary lighting replacement, but the Jeeps don't usually come with this light, so it is an add-on, but it's also functional, and that's the RS365JL. And so this is actually the 5th brake light, and so most all Jeeps come with that 5th replacement spare wheel that's on the back, on the back mounting plate. And you can remove the lugs, take that wheel off, and simply mount this light and tap it into the 3rd brake light, and actually creates a nice luxurious look. And of of course, has functional brake lighting. We do sell this in another SKU where it actually has a separate diode system that incorporates RGB and chasing if you want to tap that in with your lights when the vehicle's showing. But the fifth brake light is almost always an add-on. I mean, it's really rare to see a Jeep that hasn't added one of these on to the back of that fifth brake wheel. So that's a SKU RS365JL. But before we move on, I do want to show you the rock light video. Definitely a good video that you're going to want to see.
In this video, we will discuss Racesport Lighting's lineup of LED rock light options. Racesport Lighting offers 3 different varieties of LED rock light kits. We start by covering our original ColorSmart RGB LED rock light kit. Racesport Lighting's ColorSmart series boasts the absolute latest in microcolor LED lighting technology. The RSLD4 Kit CS and RSLD8 Kit CS utilizes ColorSmart 5050 micro LEDs for a stronger, more refined light projection and an almost endless array of vibrant colors, which means more glow for a bold, luxurious statement. These ColorSmart kits include 4 or 6 LED pods with 10 feet of cable and CNC connectors. The ColorSmart Rocklight pods are IP68 rated to stand up against environmental attacks. These kits come with mounting hardware and gaskets to easily mount under any wheel well, body frame, or engine compartment on your vehicle. The ColorSmart kits are controlled via Bluetooth application on your smartphone. With the app connected to the ColorSmart kit, you can now enjoy color and pattern selection via the app. Remember, these Rocklight kits are available in white or black powder coat color options. Next up is the brand new ColorSmart RGB plus W LED Rocklights. ColorSmart innovations just keep coming. And here's a great example with Racesport Lighting's new RGB plus W Rocklight kits. The RGB plus W kits utilize our original RGB Rocklight platform with its ColorSmart 5050 micro LEDs. And now we have added a 4th pure white diode for a clean illumination when the color is set to white, which means an intense glow for an even bolder statement. Keep in mind, the RGB plus W version is available in 4, 6, 8, or even 12 LED pod kits. Still includes wiring extensions, still is IP68 rated against environmental attack, still controlled via Bluetooth by your smartphone. The third and final Rocklight variant available through Racesport Lighting is our solid color LED Rocklights. Our solid color Rocklights are sold individually or in kits of 6 or 8 pods. Remember, these Rocklight kits are RF controlled. If your customer wants to be able to control the lights via their smartphone, recommend the ColorSmart RGB or RGB plus W option. Our solid kit option is perfect for your customer's truck, Jeep, or ATV when a single accent color is the desired look. Racesport Lighting's starting lineup of LED Rocklight options deliver to you the boldest color presentation, the smoothest color transitions and patterns, as well as the most complete mounting and wiring options to make for the easiest install possible. Racesport Lighting University, or RSU, offers no-cost professional online courses exclusively for our lighting dealers. If you are an authorized Racesport Lighting dealer, you have access. You can find more info about RSU and many other resources to help you make that lighting sale at racesportnation.com.
Woo! That one got me jazzed up. So real quick before I move on, that's plenty of information on our whole Rocklight family. But I did want to also show and tell. This is actually the bracket that gets mounted behind the fifth wheel. And so you can see, when they look behind the wheel, they actually can't see the diodes. They're actually recessed within the smoked acrylic glass right there. And then you have multiple bolt patterns for whether it's JK, JL, things like that. And then simple, like a nice heavy gauge. And so you see that's not some chintzy thick gauge that's ready to mount and tap into the upper fifth brake light that is stock on most Jeeps. And with that, that is about as much as we can cover and show you some top nationwide sellers in our Jeep lineup. Again, each category has dozens of other products, but that's it. Now, this last one, we partner with 5-Axis Solutions, and we have 9 different counter slat displays that cover different families. And so obviously nothing sells lighting better than lighting displays. This is your silent salesperson in your showroom. And so we have those counter slat displays that either sit on a counter or clip up into the slat walls. Or we have some larger professional displays that cover multiple categories and actually get made at 5-Axis and shipped right to your door, ready to hang on the wall, and are powered. And with that, we're actually going to show you a short video on these professional displays that we have to offer for the categories.
Racesport Lighting, in partnership with 5-Axis Innovations, has released a brand new line of versatile, professionally made, innovative, and engaging automotive lighting displays for your showroom. These displays are designed with the dealer's showroom in mind, offering 2 unique ways to utilize the display. The display presents great on your sales counter, or you may choose to enhance your LED lighting slat wall presentation by adding this versatile display. The multicolor product displays are powered, giving these interactive displays illumination at the push of a button. Whether on the counter or embedded in your slat wall presentation, these displays engage your customer, assisting your sales team to not only discuss the product, but overcome objections and make that lighting sale.
I gotta say, Steve, that was a pretty concise and complete presentation, even though I know that you are literally skimming the surface.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully just going through those 10, 11 products gives dealers a good idea of products that Racesport Lighting can offer that they can get from Trend's electronics warehouse and get quickly to their door for these Jeep enthusiasts.
Great. Oh, I have a couple of questions just based on the product presentation. I'd like to go through that first, and then we can talk about maybe some of the marketing opportunities there are for dealers. The first question I had for you is there a series of zombie lights from Racesport for Jeeps and trucks? I noticed the switch. I'm wondering, I wonder if there's a series for that. That could be really cool.
So a lot of times with the zombie lights, that really can almost go a couple different ways. Sometimes that's all the RGB lighting, and so they'll use that light to control all the different arrays of color. But I've also seen enthusiasts actually use the zombie light switch to really be all of their off-road lighting and their high power lighting. And so you can really hook that up to either one. Now, is there a series or a family that's just zombie? No, but that is a good idea.
It's the new Walking Dead series for next year.
I'm just saying.
Question,
I don't know what you could do to it to make it kind of special zombie-ish, but
it's
it
got
sounds
my
cool.
head spinning. So
No blood splatter out of the light bulbs.
Okay, on to more serious questions, though. When a lot of what you showed, of course, is Jeep specific, especially with the sealed beam replacements and the fog light replacements and maybe the third light. But a lot of the things you covered are also kind of universal to trucks in general at large, when you're talking about the rock lights and the light bars. However, I do want to focus a little bit on something that I feel really separates Racesport lighting from perhaps other manufacturers of lighting options. And that is the manufacturing of custom brackets to apply these lights specifically to those platforms. And that is something I wanted to commend you on, because I'm not a Jeep enthusiast per se, but if I was one, that's exactly what I would be looking for, as long as I knew it existed. I would like to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's funny because every once in a while I'll just drive around even locally here, and I'll run into a Jeep where they literally like drilled through their hood and put a light bar on, and I just look at it and I'm like, you could, there's products out there where it's a kit, and you can put the brackets together, and you could have just used those stock bolts. You didn't have to drill through your hood. And so I've seen that on trucks too. I've seen that on plenty of different options. I see them screwing into the bumpers. And listen, sometimes there is a place for that, but not usually. I mean, nobody wants to, buy a $60,000 to $80,000 Jeep, sometimes even more on some of these upper trim models, and then be told by the accessory guy, well, I'm going to drill into your hood. Not a good thing. Usually the answer is no, you're not. Yeah. So obviously having brackets is important, having a local fabricator to partner with, and get some Jeep outfitters and kind of put that all together. It's definitely beneficial.
I think it speaks to your dedication to the category too. You're going out and making the investment to go make these brackets that fit in factory locations, so you're not, damaging the integrity of your paint job. Or, a lot of these guys are doing custom paint. The last thing you want to do is start tapping into his hood and scratching up that paint, and guys dropping 20 grand on a paint job, and you're going to mess it up with screwing in a light bar.
That's right. But
so I think it speaks to the integrity of the product and your dedication to it, for sure.
But the takeaway for me, Grant, is dealers tuning in, like, order the brackets, guys. I mean, if you have the bracket, you will sell it. That's for me. When you're talking to a Jeep customer and you show them, oh, you want a light bar? Where would you like the light bar? We have different options. Oh, what do you mean we have different options? You mean as in different size light bars? Yes, we have different size light bars, but we also have different brackets depending on where you want to place that light bar. And like all of a sudden that becomes this big dialogue. Like, you're the specialist now.
Or you buy the kit.
Buy the kit. Why would they go anywhere else? You know what I mean?
Don't even try to pair them. Bracket, bar, harness, everything.
Made to fit.
Here's the price. I'm going to install it for you.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly. All right. As far as brochures and materials, I know you flashed something earlier on there. What is this all about? This is a brochure specific to Jeep products? Is that
we've got all different types of these for Marine, for Ford, for Chevy, for Toyotas. And this one's just Jeep specific catalog, just the little countertop ones, but they're also available on the Racesport Inc. website. You can download as a emailable format. So if you just want to send your customers out, like talk about, guerrilla marketing stuff you can do. If you've got a customer that bought a head unit for his Jeep, and maybe you want to send them out, a little teaser about what else you can do, you can email him that whole catalog, and I'm sure he's going to pick something out of there. There's lots to pick from.
I want to give Grant, did you have any questions for Steve based on what we learned today?
No, I think it was pretty well covered. I mean, the questions I think that'll come out is, on the headlight kits and stuff like that is, I think you guys have done as good a job as to make it as easy plug and play as possible. Maybe some dealers aren't comfortable changing out headlights and stuff like that, but you guys have made it super, super easy to do that. It's literally plug and play. So if you can undo some bolts and reinstall those bolts, you can put these kits in.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to touch a little further, just on the literature. So obviously we have our full line catalog that has a Jeep section in it, but you also get 80 pages of other products as well. And so I know that Trent has cases of catalogs for sure up there. So Trent also has these trifold brochures, which are really for you, not really so much for trends. So if you place a Jeep order, which I know Grant will talk a little bit more about, ask for a bundle with your order so that you can put these in a rack card or brochure holder, and you can give these out to your consumer. You can even put your sticker on the bottom, so it's distributed by you and you're the person they call. We don't have our telephone information or anything on here. This is for you to put your
Nice.
information. So when they're ready, they call you back, and you can call Trends and have them ship it to your door. The Jeep, what we went through was actually the Jeep specific catalog. That's actually digital on the website. So you can go to racesportlighting.ca, and right on the homepage on the right, you're going to see little tabs that are actually those digital flip catalogs. So you'll see Jeep, Power Sport, Marine, Motorcycle, blah, 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 blah. And so obviously for this week, hit the Jeep, and you'll be able to see that full spread yourself.
Grant, is that one of those 5-axis?
That's one of the displays. Just to give it for a relative size, people can see these. We have these in stock for Marine. We have the Terminator. We have the V2. We have the Gen 4 LED replacement bulb displays like this as well.
I think you have the rock light one too.
Displays. We have multiple different strip lighting displays, all here in stock. So talk to your local rep about getting these, whether it's part of an order or you want to buy these just by themselves. We can work that out for you. So you show it, it acts like a silent salesperson. Somebody walks into your store and hits the button, and there's, hey, look, it lights up. Like you can change the color on here.
It's amazing. Like when you actually have stuff for people to do in a showroom, people will do it. You just, you know what I mean? You got to have it. I like pressing all the buttons anyways. I heard through the grapevine, a little birdie told me there may be an opportunity here for dealers to get involved with Trends and Racesport. Can you tell us more details, Grant?
There may be, if I can find it where I put it.
Come on now. This is the time to shine.
I got it. Hang on.
Too much coffee.
Too much. I was way too prepared for this.
Well, at least somebody was prepared, right, Steve?
I might have killed it.
Right.
So I'll just tell you about it.
Tell us about it. All right, tell us about it.
So because it is Jeep month at CMA, we're going to do Mr. Steve as graciously offered as a discount on all the Jeep specific products. In some cases, that'll flow into your truck accessories and everything, but anything in the Jeep catalog, he's given us 10% off. We're going to double that down and give you guys 20% off your pricing for the entire month of May. So don't tell me we didn't offer you a deal. Buy them in May and get your Jeeps loaded up for the spring and summer.
I'll tell you what, we're going to make that official. When you do find said document, you're going to send it over to us, and we'll make sure we post it in our CMA dealer groups. How's that? Yeah, we'll get it in the CMA dealer groups on Facebook. And great, if you're tuning in and you're not on, it's free to join. Just make sure you're a dealer. Go on CMA dealer group, and we'll put you in, and you get access to all these great promos that our members are putting up for you guys, such as Racesport Lighting and Trends. On that note, last word, Mr. Jergensen. Any last message that you have for dealers tuning in who might be discovering Racesport Lighting for the very first time?
Well, not a scripted last word, but since you're asking, and speaking to the dealers on CMA Live here right now, and who are going to be watching this on the recording maybe later, definitely, if you're looking for a complete lineup of Jeep lighting to add on to anything else you're doing with Jeeps, or you want to hit that Jeep market harder, definitely contact us directly in conjunction with Trends in Canada, and we'll make sure that you're set up with the right mix. We can even give you a list, and this might be important. We can give you a list of the top 10, the top 25 nationwide movers specific to the Jeep. So if you're like, I don't know what to buy out of 100, we'll tell you. You tell us what you're comfortable with. We'll put together that top mix for you, and we'll try and package it with a display and some literature, and we'll get you in the business.
Well said from the president himself. Steve, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day. We're going to see you tonight, though, on CMA Live, all about Jeeps.
Absolutely.
And we're going to hear a little bit more.
I'm staying to work late just for it.
Sounds good. We'll see you later tonight, Steve. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Steve. Always appreciate it, buddy.
Grant, you're in the lighting business hard now. There's no turning back.
Yeah, well, it's one of the things that's been nice about Racesport Lighting is it's not just one segment. They cover the entire gamut, whether it's Jeeps, professional vehicles, light bars, headlight replacements, you name it. They pretty much they're in the game big time. I mean, they've got more experience than pretty much anyone that I know of. They're 15 years plus in the game, so they know it better. There's a lot of guys getting into the category, but these guys have, and you see their dedication to just what they've done with Jeep bracketry and even some of their light bar kits for, truck, Dodge Rams, Chevy trucks. They've got all the brackets made for them. You don't have to go to a custom fabricator to have those brackets made at a big cost down the road, from locally. You can get them from us. We've got them in stock.
And the hardware comes with not just the bracket, but they even thought like
the harness and the switch and
even
everything.
the bolts, even the replacement bolts. It's crazy.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And, especially for dealers that might be just, getting their feet wet. Well, this is a great brand to do it with. That's for sure. That's it, buddy. I want to thank you for coming on today and talking to us a little bit about Jeep lighting with Racesport lighting. And I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks to the Racesport guys. They're always a great partner for us and, really helpful. Like you said, if we want to put specific kits together for you guys, if you don't know what to cover, they can do that top 10 in every category they do. So we'll work with you on it.
Very nice. Racesport lighting available in Canada for Canadian dealers. Visit our good friends at Trends Electronics. Grant and his team will get you all set up. Thanks a lot, Grant.
Cheers, Ben.
Take care. Guys, I want to remind you to tune in tonight. Yes, this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are going live with CMA Live, all about Jeeps and trucks. We've got, 6 of the top brands in the segments, a nice little mix between audio, accessories, and lighting. So it gives you a real feel for what's going on in the segment. We're chatting about all those categories and more. Make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern live tonight for the Jeeps and Trucks episode. And of course, that's 8 p.m. Eastern. Also on the docket, want to remind you to continue tuning in to the Jeep sessions going right through till Monday, May 9th. A lot of great brands presenting for you guys who want to know more information about Jeep specific gear, the Jeep sessions. Of course, if you haven't already, shame on you if you haven't, but check out our website, cmanetworks.com. We revamped the whole thing, guys. We got hundreds of videos. You could search for your favorite brands by brand, or you can search it by category, or even search for your favorite trainer. Grant McFadder has his own profile. Check that out. Every video I've ever done with Grant. And there's a lot of them. Can all be found at cmanetworks.com. Thanks for tuning in to this CMA Connected presented by SiriusXM. Hope you had a good time. I'm sure did. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
Roll it down. I am. You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?